we cover all of Africa, developing, implementing, financing, and operating independent power projects. So we have a 25% stake of the Lake Turkana wind project in Kenya. That's the largest wind project in Africa. We're also working to expand that, adding both solar, wind, and battery storage for the green industrialization that President Ruto has been talking about.
You and I had an interesting conversation. You talked about how Africa cannot industrialize without energy. What did you mean by that?
Sure. So when there are big announcements made about data centers or the need to create jobs and leverage the renewable energy for green industrialization, everything is driven by electricity, right? Whether it's e-mobility, data centers, hospitals, anything that is you need to flip a switch on, you need the electricity. And a big issue is not just on the generation side, but on the transmission. So some of President Ruto's initiatives about creating independent transmission lines is a big step forward that's been used by other parts in the world, Chile, India, of course, and in the Western world as well. So seeing that Kenya is looking at doing an independent transmission program is a big step forward to making sure that the grid is reliable, because that's really the big thing, right? So if you set up a manufacturing facility, whether it's pharmaceutical or green steel, other types of refining, it's more about the reliability as opposed to the cost. The cost is important, but without the reliability, it doesn't matter what the cost is.
As a major player in this space, when you go to Kenya, when you travel around the country, what do you see out there that intrigues you? How can you make a difference?
What intrigues us is truly the youthful population, the entrepreneurial spirit, the growth, the desire to do better. I think in Kenya and other parts of Africa as well, it's an extremely well-educated workforce, but underemployed. So we really need jobs that create value. So whether it's building, creating, refining, doing anything that's value additive, it can be a big part of the opportunity. And again, it all revolves around energy.
Every country that I can think of has issues with energy.
Yep.
How can your company play a role in maybe trying to be the engine that drives development in the next 10 years?
Milele was set up to be a Pan-African developer to unlock difficult projects. So in fact, we have a project in Sierra Leone that is expected to close in the next month or so with support from the U.S. government, so $412 million of finance and insurance support. That project's going to generate 60% of that country's electricity, lowering the cost, improving the reliability, adding a transmission line.